Welcome back to Bio News Network. We are actually monitoring Hurricane Elsa as it makes its way into the Caribbean Sea. We've actually seen a significant increase in the strength of this system. It's now been upgraded to a hurricane, a Category 1, a solid Category 1 hurricane. It's quite a bit away from the next landmass, which is going to be the southwestern tip, or the south central area of Hispaniola. We don't anticipate that most of the storm will be over the higher elevations, which will of Hispaniola, which might decrease its organization. We think that most of it will remain out at sea as it makes its way through that area just south of Hispaniola, to south along the northeast coast of Jamaica, into the area that is just a little bit on the southeast tip of Cuba, and interacting with quite a bit of landmass as it makes its way across. We anticipate that it will have further strengthening simply because prior to it making impact into the area of the southern Windward Islands near the areas of St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Martinique, Dominica, it was a tropical storm, and it's actually almost doubled the wind speed from about 45 miles per an hour up to 85. And we're seeing it moving very, very quickly, and the rate of speed is actually hindering its strengthening. But we do see a drop in pressure. When we first started monitoring this system, we could actually see that this system was actually making its way, and it first started out at 1008 millibars, then it dropped to 1005 millibars, and now it's about 991 millibars, and that's a telltale sign of significant increase and also organization of the system as it makes its way further into the Caribbean Sea. As you can see, based on our forecast from NOAA and the Hurricane Center, we do anticipate that it's going to have a significant impact on the southwest coast of Haiti, as well as the south central area of Hispaniola. Residents of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic will experience tropical force winds. The northern, we've been actually tracking what's called a peak sea level rates in the different quadrants of this hurricane, and we're noticing that in the northeast quadrant of this hurricane, the peak seas are higher with higher gusts, and also with increased measurements as far as peak sea radii. So we take a look at a lot of different elements in the forecast to try and pinpoint exactly where the strongest part of this hurricane appears to be, and it appears that most of the intensity at this point is in the northeast corner of the northeast quadrant at this particular time of the hurricane, which may change as it starts to strengthen, it starts to consolidate and tighten, and become stronger, and has a more well-defined eye that could soon change. But we are concerned, of course, for our residents of Haiti, on the southwest coast of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and also onto the southwestern tip of the island. So we are definitely have our prayers for those residents in the southeast coast of Dominican Republic, as well as the southwest coast of Haiti, as the system makes its way further into the area of the Caribbean Sea. We do anticipate also unfortunately, what will probably happen is that as this hurricane strengthens, it will become a little bit tighter, and the outer squalls will start to have more of an impact, even if it's not a direct hit on any particular landmass. So, with that said, residents of Haiti should prepare for very, very strong winds. It is possible that this could upgrade to a very low level Category 2 hurricane by the time it makes landfall, which would mean it would be in the range of 96 to 110 miles per an hour. We'll have to watch and see, but we do see that maximum sustained winds of 85 miles per an hour, and there's no doubt that there's a possibility that it could increase another 10 to 15 miles per an hour, as it has some ways to go until it makes an impact. Residents of Puerto Rico, we were checking the Doppler radar, and we do see some of the early outer squall thunderstorms just south of Puerto Rico. So this storm is actually making its way very, very quickly across the Caribbean Sea. If we take a look at what it actually looks like from the satellite, we can see that definite consolidation and tightening as it transitioned over the regions of those islands. We can see it clearly go over the island of St. Vincent, which is just west of Barbados. And if you recall from La Soufriere hurricane eruption, you can actually see its proximity to Barbados. It's a little bit concerning because we actually see some significant consolidation, consistent with the drop in pressure, even though it's moving almost 30 miles per an hour. We don't anticipate it slowing down. We don't see any signals of it slowing down, but the pressure is dropping, and that is usually a sign that the system is actually gathering strength. We can actually see how the outer squalls are almost pretty far away, all the way to the tip, all the way down to the north coast of South America, almost. And as it makes its way west northwest, those outer squalls will be impacting the area of Puerto Rico very, very shortly. We were actually looking at the Doppler radar station in Puerto Rico to see the arrival of those outer squall thunderstorms and whether they will actually start impacting Puerto Rico at what time. So we continue to monitor what's actually happening with this system. As far as a timeline is concerned, it's important to have an idea as far as what timeline to expect. Residents of Puerto Rico later on tonight should anticipate receiving thunderstorms. Outer squall activity, winds will pick up to lower tropical storm force strength as it makes its way closer to the island of Hispaniola. Residents in Santo Domingo may experience higher winds between the hours of 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And then the significant heavy hurricane force winds will start to impact the southern coast of Hispaniola, possibly around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and then it's just going to be downhill from there all the way through most of the day. Areas, the southwest coast of Haiti will be impacted by this hurricane, as well as the northeast coast of Jamaica, as well as the southwestern coast of Cuba. We do want to make one note with respect to Jamaica, considering all of the significant problems as a result of Ada and Iota from 2020 hurricane season, and the significant mudslides and flooding that was experienced in one particular parish of St. Andrew. The following parishes should be aware of possible significant heavy winds, as well as heavy rainfall, which may impact residents of Jamaica along the coast of St. Mary, Portland, also St. Thomas, St. Andrew, as well as Kingston. These parishes should be preparing for significant amount of hurricane force winds, as coupled with heavy hail, and preparing for in the next 24 hours. So we're simply going based on the trauma of the storms from Iota and Ada back in November of last year for the 2020 hurricane season. The latter part of 2020 hurricane season, significant damage in the billions of dollars in Jamaica. So we do want to definitely send our prayers to residents of Haiti, as well as residents of Jamaica, as well as southwest Cuba, as this hurricane makes its way through the Caribbean Sea into that region. We anticipate that once the hurricane makes its way over Cuba, it will emerge into the Straits of Florida, and it's a little too soon to know whether it will actually um, travel along the path of the southwest coast of Florida, impacting the Keys into southwest Florida, or it may turn a little bit and actually move more into the central area of the state of Florida. But we are concerned as this impacts so many different nations as it makes its way north into the continental United States. But being that it has intensified the way it did since our very last update, almost doubling in speed, we are a little bit concerned about what type of intensity it will have before it actually makes contact with the next landmass, which looks like it's going to be impacting Haiti by tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. So also Santo Domingo and the Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico will receive heavy rain as it moves its way. We anticipate that the hurricane will actually intensify. It will tighten. The outer squalls will start to have more of an impact on any landmass that it actually makes contact with, which means that areas of Puerto Rico will receive uh, rain as well as tropical force winds as it makes its way further and further into the Caribbean. Don't well, We feel that based on the drop in pressure, that this hurricane, even though it's just a Category 1, should not be taken lightly. Residents of Florida, whether you live on the west coast or the east coast, should be preparing for a significant amount of increase in tropical force winds. If you recall from previous hurricanes, such as Hurricane Irma in the 2020, I'm sorry, Hurricane Irma in 2017, 2018, a few years ago, it actually it made landmark. It actually impacted Cujo Key. However, it was further away from Miami and Fort Lauderdale, yet it caused significant damage as it made its way along the southwest coast. So if we do go back to the days of Hurricane Irma only a few years ago, it was not a direct contact, it was not a direct path impact with southeast Florida area of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, but it was a um, significant event for residents along that coast, as well as residents along the Tampa St. Petersburg coast also. So we do want to make sure that our subscribers are aware of the potential for this storm to have a real great impact as it strengthens. We anticipate that it will no doubt strengthen simply because of the um, uh, water in the Caribbean Sea, also coupled with the fact that climate change and so many other variables are impacting the strength, no doubt are impacting the strength and the capability of a lot of these storms. So we have seen a trend over the last few years where a lot of these storms actually started as a Category 1, quickly developed to Category 3 and 4 in only a matter of days, when it was, in previous accounts of hurricanes, didn't see that level of strengthening in such a short period of time. So we are very concerned about what will actually happen with this hurricane between exiting the southern Windward Islands, making its way along the coast of Puerto Rico towards Hispaniola. And we definitely want to make sure that all of our subscribers are prepared for what's in store as this hurricane makes its way into the Caribbean Sea. As we take one more look at this advisory for Advisory 9A from the National Hurricane Center. Saturday is things will pick up during the day Saturday as far as increase in tropical storm winds, as well as hurricanes force winds along the coast of Hispaniola. We do see that hurricane watch for Haiti, as well as the south coast of Dominican Republic, and then of course tropical tropical watch warning, which most likely will be elevated to hurricane watch for Jamaica in the next very advisory coming up, along with hurricane watch for southeast Cuba, as the system gets closer and closer. All of the spaghetti models seem to point possibly to impact along the southwest coast of Florida, but they have been upgrading the general cone, quite a bit over the last 24 hours, and actually nudging it just a little bit further to the right, which means that more residents in Florida may be impacted by this storm as it makes its way into the Caribbean Sea. It's a little bit too early to know exactly where it's going to impact Florida, but we do know so far that there's a hurricane watch for most of the southern region of Haiti, as well as the southern coast of Dominican Republic, and we anticipate that for Jamaica, most notably the northeast coast, St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, St. Andrew should prepare for significant hurricane winds, as well as hail, and possibly even hail, as well as heavy rainfall. It's been an occurrence with these storms where there actually been water spouts popping up along the path of the storm also. These types of storms, so that's actually one marine special advisories will be issued also. So we do want to make sure that all of our subscribers are aware of all the potential types of severe weather that could be experienced as this hurricane makes its way through the Caribbean Sea. So that has been our weather update for latest advisory for Hurricane Elsa. We do want to thank all of our subscribers for reaching out to us here at Bao News Network. We are looking at the severity of Hurricane Elsa, currently a Category 1, but possibly upgraded very, very shortly. We anticipate it will be strengthening. We'll continue to monitor the drop in pressure as it makes its way across the Caribbean Sea. Hopefully we'll be able to get accounts from residents of St. Vincent and Barbados to know that everything was okay, and hopefully that there was no loss of life or significant loss of property as the system made its way through the southern Windward Islands. Do keep in mind it's still impacting the Windward and the Leeward Islands, even as it makes its way further towards the south coast of Puerto Rico, but simply because of the size of this hurricane, which is already a Category 1. So thank you for watching Bao News Network. We will continue to monitor the Doppler radar for those outer squalls in Puerto Rico, and as it makes its way towards Hispaniola, we'll continue to monitor this hurricane. We anticipate increased hurricane advisories. Hurricane watch will be elevated for Jamaica, as well as the southeast coast of Cuba very, very shortly, perhaps in the next advisory. And of course, we're concerned about that cone of concern for South Florida. It's still quite a bit away. However, that cone has been nudged to the right, as we said, one or two times already. And if that's going to be a continuous pattern, that means that residents of South Florida should prepare for the worst. So thank you for watching Bao News Network. Please hit that notification bell. Please hit that like button if you appreciate good weather content, and look for our latest update for this hurricane and our analysis of the pressure as well as peak sea strength in the different quadrants of the hurricane very shortly. We'll try to dissect it for you so you have all the information you need, and share it with friends and family who may be impacted by this storm. And thank you for watching Bao News Network. Have a great day.